I'm Garrison. I'm a sophomore in chemical engineering, and I am an amateur slackliner, I guess you could say. So slacklining is an activity where a crazy person jumps up on a piece of webbing and tries not to fall off. If my understanding is correct, it originally started with a bunch of rock climbers, and they had a bunch of carabiners and webbing lying around. They were like, let's try a tightrope, and it just kind of one thing led to another, and now you have competitions all around. I know at least the US where people get up and jump up and down like a trampoline and do all kinds of flips and stuff like that. So. To be a slackliner at all, I think I should start with, takes a lot of patience when you first get started, because if you first see this thing, it's just not natural to jump up on it and do any kind of walking around. So patience, I would say, first and foremost, and then secondly, it's also a good deal of, I want to say strength, but it's more fluidity. Once you get up on the line, you start shaking all around and doing things that you're not used to. You just kind of have to relax and know where to be tense and know where to just kind of let things happen. First step to any good slacklining is finding your center of chi. You know, you want to do all that yoga stuff and get all centered up and balance with the universe and all the planets are aligned. So, there are two types of slacklines that I know of. There's the primitive setup, which I have here, and the ratchet setup. A ratchet system has kind of like a ratchet strap. It has a big crank that you use to get your tension in your line. And this primitive setup uses a pulley system with carabiners, and we'll set up a little rig over there so Ben and I can start yanking on it and we can do some fun things. The knot I'm doing here is called a water knot. It's, as far as I understand, it's used primarily in nautical settings because it's supposedly pretty easy to get apart when your ropes get wet. I'm going to use this friendly little light pole here, get it to about the right height, wrap it around a few times, and throw a beaner on. Ta-da! Anchor number one. And we start yanking on it. Woo. So one of the best times I can remember with the slackline is here in the scenic quad at NC State, and it was maybe the first or second time coming out here with the slackline, and oftentimes at college people will run up and want to try it, and it's an awesome way to make new friends and stuff. Well, I was pretty new to the quad, and the RD here, Brian Peters, actually walked by in a full suit, and he was like, "What are you guys doing?" And I was like, "You've got to try this." So he hopped up there in his suit and took a few steps and made my life. School and life are oftentimes a little too busy for my likings, and I don't get to spend a whole lot of time outdoors anymore like I used to. I really like canoeing and hiking and stuff like that, but it's a little inaccessible being here at college and not having copious amounts of space to store all of my stuff in my parents' house. So here I can take a slackline and just have a little piece of webbing with 2 anchors and stuff and go out for the weekend and I don't know, enjoy beautiful weather like we're having today. It's another way just to kind of get a nice release that I don't find really any other way quite as easily.